Are you a leader? Cause this is our time. I'm a leader. On the Maxwell team, I make a difference. Achieving goals, building dreams. I'm a leader. Speaking, teaching, coaching. I'm a leader. I got the leader in me.
Welcome to the Marathon of Excellence. I am Sharon Green, CEO and founder of Alethes Consulting Group. And as you heard in my intro, I am also a certified John Maxwell coach, speaker, and teacher. And today we are going to talk about life does not have to be your pimp. Don't get me wrong on this one. I am not calling you a prostitute. I am not saying that you are selling yourself. What I am saying by my catchy title is that we are unaware of what we're being fed with. So more importantly, you are giving yourself away for free. It's just an awareness problem that we can fix by thinking for a change. So we're going to think for a change for the next few minutes, and we're going to start by just making you aware of your surroundings. You have so much coming into your head through social media and TV and people and your past. It's just filling you up with all kinds of information, whereas you are a product of what you give your attention to. So if you're bringing in negative input, you're going to have negative output because your thoughts are developed by what you give your attention to. So your thoughts develop what you say, and what your speech is a catalyst for what you do. And see, what you do soon becomes a habit, and it describes your character, and then your character turns out to be a lifestyle. So we're going to fix that by changing just some of the things that we're giving our attention to. Why? Because it's a study out there. I heard this. I've been out of the country for a minute because I am also a veteran of these United States of America. And one of my, I would say friends, a producer of the Marathon of Excellence, said, the world is getting dumber. And I said, oh my goodness. I believe that too. I know I've been out the country for a little while, but I believe that too. So I had to do some research, and I did. I found a Stanford study, a research done by a young man named Crabtree, and he says that the world's getting stupider and more emotional. Now, I thought that was funny. You may not think it, but I thought it was pretty funny. And he says the reason is because you can take an average person from 1000 BC, Athens, he could just miraculously appear, and he would be one of the smartest people in the room. Why? It's because we have a drive-through society. We want everything fast. We don't have to want to work for anything. We stop thinking. We don't have to invent anything, and we have become so comfortable in that. So I've said all of that to say that I am a motivational teacher. I am not a motivational speaker. Motivational speakers tend to want to connect with you emotionally so that you can understand where I'm coming from and I can understand your plight. But no, I want you to get understanding. I want you to have knowledge that you can use so when you leave here, you are much better off than when you arrived. We can connect emotionally another time. Matter of fact, this is a tip, first tip of the day. Emotions, when I have sympathy for you, is the same thing as me coming into agreement with how you feel. Well, you don't want to feel like that. So why should I agree with how you feel? And if you don't understand that, okay, visualize this. There's a hole in the ground. You jump down in the hole. Someone who says they love you, they jump down in the hole with you and give you a hug and say, I understand how you feel. And then someone like me walks by. I see you in the hole. I look down at you. And I say something like, you want me to jump down there and give you a hug? Or you want me to throw you a rope? Because it's in the teaching. A person of compassion gives you what you need. A person of sympathy is in agreement with how you feel. I don't want you to feel bad. I want you to know good, because knowing good allows you to feel good. So today we are not going to be in agreement with Mr. Crabtree's research because we have a choice. The fact is that the world may be getting emotional and stupider, but the truth is we don't have to participate. So I hope someone out there decides like I have, I am not participating. I am going to be a person of thought. And a person whose clicker has stopped clicking here. So we're going to have to figure out how to advance the slides, and it's okay. Because it's in our thinking that we come up with decisions that will allow things to work. All right, if you hold on with me, we're going to keep it moving. we want to go the other way. It's great to have help when you're in the middle of something so you can just keep flowing with the thing of things, and my prayer is that my clicker will continue to do what it is designed to do from right here. You have so much greatness already on the inside of you, just waiting to come out, just waiting for the world to see and know the gift that you are. So the only way that we can get that to come out of you is that you have to have awareness that it's there. So today I'm going to pick your brain. You feel something going on in your head. It's because you're firing off neutrons that you never used before. I'm going to say some things that you may not be in agreement with. So just get a piece of paper, write it down. You know where you got that thought from. It came from me. So you need to write down the thought that you have that goes against my thought, put it to the side, and then later on go back and figure out where you got your thought from. Now you know the first thought came from me. So the second thought, figure out where did you get it from. Make sure it didn't come from the world and it's something that you can stand on. So today we're thinking for change. Change just doesn't happen. We have to be intentional thinkers. So we are growing up in this area so the world can stop telling us what to do. Here's one of my heroes, Napoleon Hill. And he has a saying which is phenomenally true. What the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. He says it's a natural law, that it doesn't take a PhD at ABCD, JFD, It doesn't take initials for you to be inventive. It doesn't take schooling for you to use your mind. He uses, I think it was Albert Einstein. Yes, he invented the light bulb. He only had 3 months of training. And as you know, he was able to invent something that we all still use today. But where did he get this from? Well, he had a mentor. His name was Andrew Carnegie. He was born in the early 1800s and he passed away in the early 1900s. And one day, Napoleon Hill went to Andrew asked Napoleon Hill to do some work. And Napoleon basically said, I can't do it. I can't do it. And Andrew was a man after my own heart. He said, get yourself together. Your mind is the greatest gift that the Creator has given you, and you have the ability to direct it in whatever direction you desire. You have complete control to possess your mind. So what you give your mind attention to is what will be attracted to you. That's some good stuff right there. So then I got out of the military and I hooked up with this man right here, John Maxwell, where I teach some of his products, and one of which is the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And one of the laws is the law of intentionality, which we have to think on purpose. It doesn't just happen. And the reason people don't grow because there are gaps. There are 8 gaps, and you may fall in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but there are gaps to why we don't grow. Why we don't think we have to think on purpose. The first one is assumption. We assume that I'm going to wake up smart tomorrow. I don't have to do anything about it. My mind is steadily developing as I grow. And then we have the timing gap. It is not the right time for me. I'm a single parent. I got other things. It's just not the right time for me to want to grow. Then you have the mistake gap. And that's really, I'm just afraid. If I step out and I do something that doesn't work, then I just don't want to make any mistakes. And then you have the comparison gap. Some people are just smarter than me. I wasn't born to be equipped with the ability to do great things. So my mind is just what it is. And then after you have the comparison gap, you have the expectation gap. And the expectation gap looks something like this. I'm supposed to do some work? For real? I actually have to do something to actually grow and think on purpose? And then you have the people who have the perfection gap. They want everything to be perfect before they start. Well, these are gaps that disconnect you from your destiny because you have an excuse which is really not worthy of your attention. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me to a place called Baghdad, Iraq. And I'm going to show you why it's so important to think on purpose, to direct your own mind into your destiny. So, but before I begin, I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that picture you see on the screen is an actual picture of where I was stationed in Iraq, that lake I ran around it many a day. But before I got there, I had thoughts. Why? I had this thing called PRK done on my eyes where I can see from here across the world because I was a test dummy for the Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And yes, it was free, so I volunteered. And PRK is the same as LASIK. LASIK surgery, they slit your cornea, they pull it back, they fix your eye. PRK is they scrape it off and they fix your eye and it grows back. So being in Walter Reed, I had the opportunity to see service members come in all the time, missing limbs and having all kinds of medical issues. So it gave me thoughts. I also worked in the Pentagon. So we had wounded warriors come through all the time. They came in stretchers and some with crutches, and you can see them, their scars from the front of their head to the back of their head. So it gave me thoughts. Not only that, when I found out that I had to go to Iraq, I had just came back from an unaccompanied tour in Korea. When I went to Korea, my son was 2 years old. I missed year 3, year 4. But before you parents have some sympathy for me, I will tell you, being in Korea is not like being in Iraq. I did send for my son, not one time, but 2 times I flew him over with my mom and sister to Korea. So if you want to have sympathy, you can give me some money back and that'll make us all feel better. But no, he came over, and the second time he stayed with me until I left. But going to Iraq, you can't bring dependents. So I had an opportunity to get my family mentally prepared that I shall be leaving. I had already planned to retire, but I had not turned my retirement paperwork in. So when I got the notice to go to Iraq, I could have said, no, I'm not going, I'm going to retire. But then somebody else would have had to go. I've never been that selfish in my life to make a decision that would cause somebody else some unrest just because I didn't feel like doing it. So I'm a praying person. And that's just me. If it's not for you, you receive what's for you and you reject that which is not. But I'm a praying person, and I was like, Lord, if I'm on orders to go to Iraq, it is a reason for me to go over here. So after I prepared my family to leave and we got to the airport and I said my goodbyes, I had these thoughts that I already acquired because there were so many people that never made it back. And I'm a single parent. So I have thoughts. What are we going to do with all these thoughts? I'm a praying person. So I had scriptures, but they're all in there together. So I had to make a choice. I got on the other side of security and I just cried. Oh, Lord. I cried and I walked. I felt like Forrest Gump. I just kept walking and crying and walking and crying. And by the time I got to the terminal, I had regrouped. I felt better and I knew I had to go. And I got on the plane and I went to this place called Fort Benning, Georgia, where they treated me like a private. I had a little bit of rank, so I didn't have to do stuff like get up for training at 4 a.m. Did I say get up? No, I had to be places at 4 a.m. Who does that? I didn't have to do that no more. So I went over there by myself. I hung out with strangers for a week. Then we got on a plane with all of our gear and equipment, and we headed off to a place called Kuwait. So when I got to Alethes, I got checked in. Someone came to me and said, excuse me, ma'am, we have a flight leaving out this evening, so you really don't have to stay here, and we'll get you on the next flight. I said, no, you won't. I'm going to be like everybody else. I've been on this plane for 14 hours. I'm getting me a bed, and I'm going to bed. I'm not rushing into war. Besides, I don't have to be there until tomorrow. So that's exactly what I did. I took that night off, and the next day I got all my equipment. I'm dragging these bags like a packed mule. I'm taking them from here to there. And I went and boarded the plane and I landed in Iraq with all these thoughts. You have to imagine, I hadn't been there. This is my first time deploying to Iraq. So I had a vision of what it looked like, but it didn't quite look like my vision. So this right here on the screen is my street. Behind the barriers are single wide trailers. And so my single wide, I stayed in a half of it. That's one part of it. And it was another person that stayed on the other side. And then that was the other side. But in my single wide, I stayed on half. We had soldiers who had 4 people that stayed in my space. And granted, you say, it was kind of clean. It was new, and my street was new because we had just got there. I lived in a kind of brand new area. And I had the nerve to complain. I did not understand. I was complaining because did y'all see a bathroom? I did not see a bathroom either. Does that mean I had to get up and go to the bathroom? Why is that a problem? Because my body was in Iraq. My bladder was in the United States. So in the middle of the night, and there is no lights on the street to go out, you have to walk to the bathroom. Well, my bathroom was 2 trailers in front of me. So why am I complaining? I just had to go up my door, go 2 trailers up, and go to the bathroom. Well, everybody didn't have that luxury. And I didn't have a recognition and understanding of that luxury until I started traveling. Well, this is the palace where I stayed at, and this is traveling to the city of Baghdad. I worked with the Special Forces unit, so I was very excited. The mother in me wanted to stay, but the soldier in me was like, oh, we get to go with our nation's finest. And I had to control their money, and they have plenty of it, so it makes it really great. So we're flying over Baghdad, and it looks like a bunch of sand. It's all brown, and it looks pretty good, except for when you get closer, the buildings. The buildings are blown up. Except for the ISOF, the Iraqi Special Forces, they have good stuff, so it's kind of good hanging out with them. But the buildings where I stayed, you had to walk through the blown up part of the building to get to where you're going to spend the night. First of all, it's really condensed, as you saw in the pictures, and it looked like a third world country. So needless to say, by the time I left out of the city, the green zone, I was so happy that I did not have to stay there. I just had to go visit, maybe spend a couple nights, and then come back. Needless to say, they cleaned up that area. So this is the whole run of what I'm talking about being in Iraq and thinking on purpose. I had these thoughts of things that had happened to other people. I had Bible verses I was standing on. I made sure all of my family knew my Bible verses and that I'm a person of faith and don't call me with this fear. This is what I'm standing on. This is what you need to say. But then it happens. It happens real quick. You sitting there. Boom. It comes just that fast. And it continues. And it's like, oh, this is real. What are we going to do? I don't know about you, but I didn't hear no sirens. Did y'all just hear a siren? Did you hear incoming? Incoming. It didn't always happen. So now I have thoughts. What am I going to do? I will tell you this is the turning point because you never know what you're working with until you get squoze and to find out what's on the inside of you. I had a friend. He loved to work out at night. And it was not just him, it was a whole bunch of people working out at night. My days would start at like 4:30 in the morning, and I didn't go to bed till maybe midnight every single night. So I said, well, this was a Friday. I don't have to be anywhere till late on Saturday. I will go work out at night just to see why you all do this. And so I did that. When I got back to my chew, which is the trailer, we call it a chew, it was 11:30 at night. I had got to the gym at 8:30. What was I thinking about? I said, I'm going to bed. I'm not getting up in the morning to do aerobics. I'm not running. I'm just sleeping in. Soon as my foot hit the floor at 7 a.m. is when that mortar sound you just happened. It happened immediately. My whole trailer shook. I knew it was close. So like most Americans, I went outside to see where the smoke came from. I wanted to see how close was it. Sure enough, it was at the exact spot where I did not go do aerobics that morning. Not only was it at the exact spot where I did not go do aerobics that morning, the gym is connected to the tent where I do aerobics, and I always run. So had I finished aerobics, I'd have been right there running on the treadmill when the mortar round came in. So I had thoughts. Why wasn't I there? What happened? Because we did have some people to die. And granted, it wasn't Americans, but it was still people that we eat with, that we run with, that we visit, that we minister with. And to have that happen, you have thoughts. So what are you going to do with them? I will tell you right after that incident, I had a meeting with me in my trailer, and I stayed in there, and I had an agreement. I know some of you think you shouldn't talk to yourself. It's not about talking to you. It's about what are you saying to you that matters. So I told me, oh, we people of faith. Either we're going to trust God or we not. There is no in between. I don't care what it looks like. We're going to pray our way through this. And that is exactly what happened. I prayed my way through it. I had opportunities to meet people. I served. I did community events. But I still worked. I still served the Special Forces. You better know that. And those are the ones, when you're playing for the military, you need to keep them lifted up because they truly are dedicated and keep us safe here in this United States of America. So keeping my mind together didn't mean anything to nobody else. It meant something to this young lady right here. I met her maybe a week before I was getting ready to leave, maybe 2 weeks. And when I met her, she was on the verge of committing suicide. It wasn't just a conversation. She had thought it out. She had written a letter and everything. And then she meets someone like me who is not so sympathetic to how you feel. So we had some good conversation. And needless to say, she is doing well. She's still serving our country fine, and everything that she thought deserved a permanent solution to a temporary situation, she has finally gotten over it. So now, let's go back to our sponsors, because that's enough about me. Life does not have to be your pimp. You can control your thoughts, you can tell you what to do, and you can be aware of all that's around you. So who is your pimp? Is it money? Is money? Yeah, it kind of have you moving. It's telling you, like, you can't buy that. You can't go there. You can't hang around those people because you don't have what they have. Matter of fact, you don't even have a vision for no more of me. You got to start talking to your money like, no, you may look like this today, but tomorrow, that's a new day. That's a new song. So who else? Who else out there? Who is your pimp? Is it they? Is it they? What did they say? They told you to buy an iPhone 3. No, get the iPhone 4. Get the iPhone 4S. Get the iPhone 5. No technical difficulty. It don't mean nothing because they always got something to say. They gonna tell you, look, you need to get that perm out your hair, girl. Go natural. Because it's gonna give you cancer. They always got something to say. So you got to know what to keep and what to reject, because they are coming at you from all around this world in every language, communicating the same old stuff. So you have to have a foundation to know what the truth looks like. Here are the silent pimps that you just don't pay attention to. One of them is sleep. You ever meet anybody who just, they can't even function. I'm so sleepy. Now granted, the military teaches us how to deal with sleep deprivation. But even before I went in the military, I knew when I had something to do, sleep just had to wait. It was not going to occupy my space and time when I had some requirements. It's food calling you. People lose their mind over food. They fight over food. We just turn into two different people because of food is calling you. You have to eat. If you don't eat like 50 times a day, you're going to die. Food is calling you. You need to understand that. And then you have my man Bob. Well, Bob is not truly connected to the weather like that. But before you even figure out what you're going to wear, you ask Bob, Bob, what the weather look like? So I can figure out what I'm going to wear. Oh, it's after Labor Day. I can't wear white. Dang, who says that? Wear what you want to wear. Stop letting Bob tell you, it's going to be a blizzard. We don't have to go to work. And then we get no snow. So who is telling you what to do unaware? I think this is the biggest one right here. Yes, my man Fear. Fear said, no, you can't fly. The plane can fall out the air. Fear said, no, you can't go on a cruise, which is the most relaxing, rewarding vacation ever because it's too much water. We can't drink all that water. Fear is talking to you all the time. It said, no, it's okay. You can ride around in a car with millions of Americans who are texting and driving and talking on the phone and driving and putting makeup on and driving and beating their children in the back seat and driving and beating the person next to them, doing everything, but it's safe. Why? Because Fear said you on the ground. So it's safe. Fear is telling you so much what to do. It's just like this music you listening to. It's the same old beat running over and over and over. But the truth is, fear is a choice. You can choose not to be afraid. You can choose to step out and say, I'm just going to see what it looks like. Because this is what fear really looks like. It looks like you in a prison cell in the middle of Times Square in New York City. You don't even have a door on your jail cell. but you won't even come out of it. You in the middle of the street, you still won't even come out because fear says stay in here, it's safer in here. We don't have to really truly live life to the fullest. No, it's a choice. And for those of you who think a little bit of fear is okay, it is not okay. Although you've gotten your butt outside of that jail cell, you still walking around with the bars around your neck like a necklace because it's still holding you hostage. Make a choice. I'm not saying be reckless, but use wisdom. You have so much control over the thoughts that you have. You can possess them and you can lead yourself into the best life ever just by the choices that you make. So it's not okay. Get yourself together. Get rid of that baggage. Get rid of the fear. Get rid of the past because your past has no authority over your future. Stop allowing the world to tell you how to think. You are so much greater than that. Change is your choice. Change your choice. Change your choice by what you give your attention to. Change your choice by the people that you hang around. Change your choice by just communicating in English or whatever language you speak one to another. Stop texting all the time. Stop going to social media. Actually have a conversation, because having a conversation will allow you to have thoughts you never had. Will allow the person you talk to have thoughts they've never had. So you have to change your choice if you want to see your life change. You can do it. Your mind is a muscle, and you exercise it by reading books. That's not fiction. You exercise it by being around people who are where you want to go, asking questions. When you were a child, you told everybody what to do. Pick me up, feed me, I'm hungry, I'm cold, play with me, it's all about me. But when you got older, you stopped asking questions. Why? I'm going to tell you why. You stopped asking questions because you don't want to look stupid. You rather be stupid. Now, what sense does that make? You need to ask questions when you don't know. That's how we stretch our mind. We can get more vision to know that life can only get better if you apply yourself to it. So think for a change. It doesn't matter where it is, but you have to take time to intentionally think. You cannot allow the social media world that we live in tell you how to lead life. We lead life by the decisions that we make, and the decisions that we make are a product of what we give our attention to. So we're going to think for a change, and we're going to change our life. I don't know about you, but I'm going up. It can only get better. I served this country for almost 24 years, and when I got let go, I felt like somebody took the chains off. I was like, I can do whatever I want to do. Who can I help? Who can I add value to? Who can add value to me? That's why I spent thousands of dollars, well, tens of thousands of dollars to be on John Maxwell's team. Why? I've been leading for almost 24 years. I know how to tell people what to do. I know how to take responsibility for my actions. But I had to have a change because you civilian people, y'all speak a different language than we do. I'm just going to tell you. You say stuff like, I got this event, and I really would like it to start on time, and I need you to be there, kind of, sort of like. And then when they show up late, you say, oh, it's okay. I understand. We live in the nation's capital. We have traffic every day, and if you don't plan to get in the traffic to get to where you're supposed to be on time, it's okay. No. See, my language is a little different. My language would be something like this. I'm having this event, and it's going to start at this time. I need you to be here by this time. It's going to start with or without you. And if it starts without you, you will not get paid. Just that simple. Have a blessed day. And that's how it would go. So I had to learn to be kind and gentle. Although I understand you can be where you want to be when you want to be there. So you need to prepare to be on time because somebody has planned something for you. So you can at least consider that and just try to help them out because they thought about you when you didn't think about you. But anyway, that's enough of that. I will get off my soapbox. But we're leading life, and you should expect it to go up because you are the boss of you. I have a 9-year-old. I hear this all the time. You are not the boss of me. You are not the boss of me. How him and his friends talk to each other. Because my son is like me. He like, you thinking too slow. I'm just going to tell you what to do. Well, he hasn't learned how you can't tell everybody what to do. You have to allow them to stretch their own imagination and take their time to give an answer. But you're the boss of you. The world should not be telling you what to do. So dream again. Start thinking again. There is something more than waking up, going to work, coming home, cooking, watching TV, and getting ready for the next day. There's so much more to life. Somebody is waiting for you. Just like the specialist waited for me to show her that life is so much worth living and you have so much to offer, somebody is waiting for you to dream again. Because you can do whatever you want to do. It's not too late and you are not too old to do whatever it is you want to do. You just have to apply yourself to it. If this elephant can get if he can think enough to get his big butt on top of that ball, I know you got greatness inside of you. I know it's there. You should know it's there. So I'm going to help you out. This is one thing that I do often. Well, not too often, but no, it's often. I always populate my mind with reminders. Reminders of who I am. Reminders of what I'm working with. Reminders of what is in front of me, because my past has no authority over my future. So I listen to music. Yes, not too often, but the stuff I listen to, it speaks. So I'm going to play a song for you so you can kind of get an understanding of what I listen to. So then you can go and you can find what works for you. This is a church song. May not sound like it, but it is. And it's talking about me. It may not be talking about you, but it's talking about me. So I want to show you just a little bit about what you should be giving your attention to as a reminder. Because if you expect good, you'll see good. If you continue to live life expecting to die, you're going to live a life of a dead person. So it's time to be living people, living life to the fullest with expectation of greatness, because it's already on the inside of us. So y'all ready? When we play it? Got them heads bobbing? Because we're going to jump right in this. I didn't take this one to the beginning. We're going to just go right into this. You too are a winner. Nobody was created to fail in life. You're a winner. You should never go into anything with the expectation of losing, because anything that looks like a failure is just a delay to success. Might mean we need to study more. I need to hang around some more people. I need to get some more information. But never, ever settle for less than what you are worth. So don't be like these guys right here who missed my entire speech. Technical difficulties and all. They still missed it. Yes, it was today. It went down today and you missed it. So I thank you for your time, but this is not it. You can hang out with me some more. I got a 21-day challenge coming up. It's the Get It Done Challenge. Just text the word finisher to 240-699-2500. 2500 finisher, and I will tell you in advance, it is not the Get It Done, Drag You Along challenge. It's not going to be, oh, please, on today do this, did you do that? No, it's an opportunity for you to grow up from the inside out. We're going to talk about awareness and process and going from ordinary to extraordinary and to dream again. And it's going to be things that will help you get rid of all them daggone excuses. It's going to help you get rid of the distractions. It's a beginning of the rest of your life, where you will never be a procrastinator again. So I am Sharon Green. It has been an awesome opportunity hanging out with you. I've had fun, and I pray that you have too. Have a blessed day.